Good afternoon, and thank you for joining On Air with Russell of Hotels, live radio. No, why do I keep saying that? Not live radio show, live hospitality show. I keep getting mixed up because I don't know, my mind's everywhere. But anyway, that's okay. I just got a text right before the show, saying they can hear me breathe. I'm like, well, at least that means I'm alive, right? So thank you so much for letting me know that you can hear me breathing on air, but was I breathing too hard? I don't know what it was, but at least you know I'm alive, right? Anyway, thank you so much for joining on air with Russell of Hotels live hospitality talk show. We are streamed. I have a new format now, so and I'm streaming from a new platform called StreamYard. So this is the third or fourth week into this. Maybe it's the third week. So I'm on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook Live. Okay, so any three of those platforms you want to check me out on, you can. Okay, so thank you so much. But we're about to get into this. Okay, but thank you so much. I'm alive. So you can make comments if you're on LinkedIn, if you're on Facebook, you're on YouTube, you can make comments and I can see those comments. Okay, so that's the beauty of StreamYard. So we can do some stuff real time now. So don't talk too crazy though, because I don't have a problem with talking crazy on the show. But that's not what it's about. But let's just make sure that we keep the comments in line. But thank you so much for Libby Zarahi. Thank you so much for giving me a quick little note there. And Michelle Carlin, of course, always there. Eric Gibson. Oh, shout out to Eric Gibson and Natalie. Thank you so much. I do appreciate everyone that supports me, supports the show, and they appreciate the Hospitality Unplugged. Thank you so much, Janie Parrish, on Facebook Live. So thank you so much. That's family. Family's always good. Family's gonna always support you, right? Well, not always, but well, at least this family does. So there you go. So, but thank you so much, Janie. I do appreciate you reaching out as well and letting me know that you can hear me. So today is Tuesday, March 3rd, right? 2021. We're all about connecting people and collaboration. Hashtag Hospitality Unplugged, which means, we'll talk about anything that we need to in the hospitality space. Today is no exception because I got some stuff that I need to get off my chest. Okay, so some stuff that I heard over the weekend. It didn't happen to me, but it's like it happened to me because it happened to a dear friend. I mean, almost like a son, right, to me. So I'm gonna share that with you, but that's gonna be at the end. So you got to listen to the end before you can hear the story, right? So, and I still can't even believe that this even happened. But I did have to do my own investigation, and I was able to find out something. But anyway, so we'll get to that. I don't want to do a spoiler alert of what it is because then you wouldn't listen to the show. Then you'll just kind of tune off and say, you know what? It's enough of this dude. I don't want to hear this guy anymore. But anyway, show number 97, disruptor of the status quo. That's what I do. I mean, that's why I started the show, because I want to be a disruptor. I wanted to take my brand to another level, right? So what could I do other than what I was doing? I said, well, hey, what about a podcast or a live show or whatever? So I started off as a podcast 2 years ago, 97 shows ago, right? And boom, here we are. So three more shows, we're at 100. What am I going to do for the 100th show? I have no idea. I have no idea. People have been asking me, like, what are you going to do? You're going to have t-shirts made to say 100? That costs money. You going to pay for these t-shirts? I don't know. But we're going to see. We're going to do something. Maybe have a lot of people on the show, and maybe I'll have someone interview me. Instead of me doing the interviewing, maybe they can come on and interview me. And I got that idea from, I think, Marilyn mentioned this, Marilyn Croc with Visit Anaheim, and Amani Roberts mentioned this as well. Amani Roberts with the Amani Experience, professor. He's actually president of MPI Southern California chapter as well. So they kind of brought that up. So maybe so, I don't know. And then Jim Schickta mentioned something. Well, he can't wait for this 100 show. I'm like, I can't either, but I'm at a loss. What the heck am I going to do? So if you guys have suggestions for me, please feel free to give me suggestions of what you think I can do. And thank you so much, Jim, for reaching out the show to catch each week. So I appreciate that, Jim. So thank you so much. Libby, okay, all right. How about a panel? A panel of people interviewing me? Like more than one? We'll talk about it, Libby. Thank you so much, though, for chiming in and letting me know what you like to hear. So that's good. And it may be something like that. So maybe I'll get together a panel of people that I'll let them, no holds barred, right? Just whatever questions, just zoom questions at me and see if I can answer. I don't know, but anyway, that will be interesting. So industry news, it's Women's History Month, so hey, kudos to all the women that are making things happen. But I want to congratulate two women in particular, and specifically, congrats to Miss Devon Reeves and Miss Jessica Myers. They're former college roommates at Georgia State University. They just did a deal with Hilton to purchase an 85-room hotel for $8.5 million. It's a home to suite by Hilton in Oklahoma. Why is this significant? First of all, it's significant because they're women. It's two of them, and they're black. Okay, so that's the significant part of it. Okay, it's not Black History Month anymore, but we're going to extend Black History Month into March if that's okay. But yeah, so I heard about this, and I'm like, wow, I have to mention this on the show because I'm sorry, it doesn't happen every day. So someone that two women that and in the thing of it is they're either in their late 20s or very early 30s, okay, from what I can see. And I don't know them personally, but I actually have a conference call with Miss Devon Reeves tomorrow because for that same thing, how to purchase a hotel. Because I come across people that ask me, they say, "Well, how do you buy a hotel, or what do you look for? Where can you get funding and financing and things like that?" Because of course, no one wants to use their own money when they're buying things, but you have to have something, right? So we're gonna have a conference call tomorrow morning, and I'm going to ask her these specific questions. And this didn't even happen when I set the appointment up. It hadn't even happened yet, so I just actually saw this yesterday. So congratulations again to Miss Devon Reeves and Miss Jessica Myers for that's a huge thing to do. So the purchase of an 85-room hotel, home to suites by Hilton in Oklahoma. Not sure of the city, but doesn't matter. They spent $8.5 million and they got it. So there you go. That's 100,000 a key, right? Oh my God. Anyway, hey, it happens. Things are happening out there. So hey, DMOs, are you updating your shareholders, your stakeholders on new openings or closings within your own destination? One thing I found out, not didn't find out, but who's on Clubhouse? I know that I've been asking people, are they on Clubhouse? Specifically, hospitality people, are they on Clubhouse? Clubhouse is a new chat room feature. It's an app. Chat is invitation only. You have to have an iPhone currently to get on it, but there's individual chat rooms that can go from two people to I think 5,000 people can be on one chat room. It's all virtual, of course, and you can talk about anything. They're talking about, and the reason I'm bringing this up, it has to do with hospitality. So there's a lot of hospitality chat rooms, and they were talking about, and they brought me to the stage, right? So I'm not facilitating this particular chat room, but you can raise your hand and they'll bring you to the stage. So I went up to the stage and I don't remember what I was talking about, but I was talking about, I don't know what the subject or the topic was, but I mentioned that I don't see a lot of promo from DMCs here in the States. Because these people from all over the world, okay? And somebody had chimed in and said, funny you should say that, because I was questioning that. And I think she was in the UK. She said there's, tourism bureaus, tourism boards, whatever, London or whatever that she was. And she mentioned the same thing. So I'm like, well, that's interesting. So I just want to make sure, and I'm sure, maybe to some extent that is happening, but am I seeing a lot of it? No, I'm just speaking for Russell of Hotels, right? I'm not getting on anyone. I'm just mentioning that if we're not doing it, we need to do it. Okay, especially in this, what's going on, because we don't know who's open, who's closed, who's closing. And goes for restaurants as well. So it's good if we keep people updated. I mean, we have all this technology to reach people, but sometimes we don't use it. We sit back and wait for people to complain. Then we say, "Oh, okay, let's do it." So let's be proactive and not reactive. And that's something I mention all the time. So DMOs, if you're not updating your shareholder, your stakeholders, your meeting planners, your whoever it is, all those people that you take all the information from, and this goes for hotels too. If you're open, you need to make sure you're doing that. So if you're open, you need to let people know. Create some FOMO, fear of missing out. I always mention that. I'm gonna mention that again in a little while. So if you're closing, I guess that's hard to put something that I'm closing my doors, that kind of thing. But hey, people need to know. How are people gonna know, right? So I just had to say that. Level of service, and this is a conversation I had with someone this morning. She's a meeting professional. In fact, the same person says she can hear me breathing. Level of service, hospitality, um, going down post COVID. That's kind of the what she said, or the conversation we had. So I had a conversation with her this morning, and because she's one that has not she's been traveling. Let's just say that. I'm not trying to travel shame anyone that how she would put it, but she's been traveling for business and for personal, and she has noticed. I'm just throw out a destination, Vegas, that although there's more, because I always ask, well, how are the staffing levels? Are the staffing levels back to where they should be? Or is there enough staff to adequately service the people that are there? And she said, yeah, there were, but it just seemed like there's a level or a lack of service that's going on in at least the hotels that she stayed in. And she was actually on a panel last week that had to do with meeting planners, and they were saying the same thing. And she goes, I don't know if it's because maybe, the people that were there before are furloughed, or they didn't come back to work and they hired new people. I said, that could be it too. Is it a lack of training? You got younger people in there that may do something else. I don't know, but I don't understand travel. Someone made a comment, travel shame. But anyway, but it just made me think. I said, I have to talk about this because I haven't noticed it because I haven't traveled, right? So, but it's something to look out for, and it's something to put out there. So, hospitality people, hotel people, restaurant people, make sure that we're doing what we need to do, the things we were doing before, right? I know we have a lot of things going on, but still, service is what separates one hotel from another, or hospitality is one thing that will hospitality is more of an emotion, right? So hospitality and service are two different things. Service is, I guess, what we expect, right? Or we expect, certain service levels, right? But hospitality has to do with a feeling of how people made you feel while you were at that particular hotel or that restaurant, right? So it doesn't matter if it's a 1 star or a 5 star, 6 star, I don't care. It doesn't matter what the star is in that particular hotel. How did it make you feel when you left that hotel or when you arrived, right? Because everything actually starts when you're making reservations. But sometimes we're going through Expedia or third parties to make our reservations. So how do they make us feel? Well, I mean, you're doing it online, but just say you happen to call someone, you got in-house reservations, and it starts there. And then when you get to the hotel, how was your arrival experience? Meaning the valet parking, or how were you greeted at the front desk, even if you even go to the front desk, because now we're trying to eliminate as many touch points as we can. So maybe you just did everything online and you just went to your room, you got to sign your room via your phone, and then you're just going to your room and unlike with your phone device. So I mean, there's going to be a lack of service or hospitality anyway, right? Because of what's going on. But sometimes our hotel people, we need to go out of our way to make sure we're still making people feel welcomed and and appreciated, because that's what it's all about. Because the old adage is, who pays your salary? Does the owner pay your salary, or the clients or the guests? Well, it's the guest that pays your salary, right? So there you go. So let's just make sure we're doing everything that we can to make sure our service levels are up, and that level of hospitality is there too. Because remember, hospitality is how someone makes you feel. It has nothing to do with service, right? Well, so I mean, yeah, service, it does play a part, but just remember that, okay? So thank you, Mr. Charles Skiffer, for making your comments. Okay, I see you too. All right. So thank you so much for joining. Let's see what else I did. There's levels of service. Clubhouse, I mentioned this Clubhouse thing. So I get caught up on this whole Clubhouse, right? Because there's so many interesting chat rooms that you can get in, great conversations, It's an opportunity to learn things you haven't learned. It's like a podcast, but it's an interactive podcast, meaning you can actually make comments, while the show's going on in real time. You can raise your hand. They'll invite you on stage, or that's what they call it, inviting you on stage, and you can ask your questions, and either comments or questions, and these are experts, I guess, in their particular field, and they can help you out. Because this morning I was on one, had to do with influencers, hotels hiring travel influencers and things like that, which was real interesting. So I chimed in, of course, and had some things to say. And an influencer friend of mine happened to be on it as well. And she's been on the show once or twice. And I just remember when she's from LA or Orange County, she came in and kind of did some things for my hotel when I was at the Sheraton Universal 100 years ago. Thank goodness it was 100 years ago. But I mean, I just remember what she did for me, and then other people were chiming in about how things worked and things like that, and what's important when you're choosing an influencer. So it's things like that. So things that all our hospitality people that listen or watch the show, they think about. You can go on, like I said, you can just listen in the background. You don't even have to say anything. You don't have to raise your hand. You don't have to make your comments or whatever, because there's enough people on there that normally they will make comments. I mean, it can be 100 people in the room. It can be 1,000 people in the room. So it just depends. And tomorrow, it was the topic tomorrow, I think, is going to be, at least what I suggested, was location marketing, geofencing, how you can follow people via their phone. I mean, it's happening. It's been happening. Sometimes hospitality people, "Oh, I didn't even know this was happening." Yeah, it is. It is. Your phone device is a tracking system, right? A GPS. So people can actually track it. But what are they tracking you for? They're tracking you for information to form a persona, right? So a specific person, that are you male, female? Are you black or white? Are you a vegan, right? Plant-based. I mean, it can figure out all these certain things, and that way you can target market those people, right? You can weed people out, like, okay, that person is not the person that's going to be using my hotel, right? And based on where they're going, you look at their spending habits, you look at what they like. Do they like, silver oak wine, Cabernet? Okay, well, they do. All right. Well, guess what? That's a tool that you can use to get them to come to your hotel, or at least they're coming to your hotel, right? And you already know this about them. Why not throw a bottle of silver oak in their room? Yeah, they got to pay for it, right? But that's something that they didn't think about before. I didn't think about, how they even know this. I mean, these are things that we have to start personalizing people's stay. That's the new, I mean, that's not the new thing. It's been around for a while, but we have not embraced that. Meaning, when I say we, hospitality industry has not really embraced this form of technology and how powerful it is. I introduced this to a couple of my old colleagues several years ago. Okay, I'm going about 3 years ago. This whole geofencing thing, and it worked for them. Okay, they were able to, and they can keep the contacts that they made, or the people that they were promoting to. You can keep those people, and you can keep promoting to those people over and over again. Now, just imagine geofencing the Rose Bowl. Okay, that's what we did. We geofenced the Rose Bowl during a football game. Now, the Rose Bowl holds 100,000 people. Okay, when are you going to be able to target 100,000 people? You can. You're going to have to, from there. You're going to have to, kind of go through that list of people and say, okay, do they fit the persona that you want, right? So, are they the ones that are more likely to use your hotel if you're in Pasadena? This is just an example I'm using. So that's what geofencing does. It can actually help you target market. Now, if you're using, the disclaimer here is, if you're using, because some hotels use PR agencies or marketing companies or whatever to do some of their social media, whatever, I would find out what they're using, because sometimes we just spend it and say, oh, because they did XYZ hotel, and my VP, he said, okay, use this particular company to do it. But find out what they're doing. What tools are they using? Do they use a geofencing form, or location-based marketing is what it's called? Are they using that? I mean, you have to find out. As hoteliers, we need to be a little bit more sophisticated about what technology is being used. If we know about it, then that's fine. But I guarantee you, 9 out of 10 people don't know if that company that they're using is using um, geofencing or location-based marketing. I guarantee you. Anyway, that was funny, right? I guarantee they're not using. I'm being silly now, but that's okay. You're on air with Russell of Hotels live radio show. I just have to throw that out there before I move on to the next topic. We're streaming live to Facebook Live, to what is it? YouTube, and to gosh, why can I can't even think today. Right? What's the other one? LinkedIn. Okay, that's LinkedIn. I can't forget LinkedIn. LinkedIn's my favorite, right? Okay, so anyway, so I had the conversation about Clubhouse. So if you're not on Clubhouse, I have like 5 invitations. So if anybody wants to get on Clubhouse, just send me a message and I'll send you. I just have to have you got to have an iPhone and what else? You have to be invited. You got to have an iPhone though, right? So just let me know. Just send me your phone number and all this kind of stuff. You can find my phone number on my website just in case if you needed to do that and you did not want to do it on this, that's fine because you don't want everybody seeing that your business, right? So just you can DM me on whatever, you can call me, whatever. I appreciate it. So, and like I said, I have at least 5 that I can invite, right? So you get so many after because you get like 3 initially, and then once you go through those 3, I guess I got 6, but I gave out 1 yesterday, so I know I have about 5. So there you go. Hey, what would prevent you from traveling in 2021? Hey, Kevin Brooks, thanks for joining us. What would prevent you from traveling in 2021? What about a vaccination? I got my first vaccination, right? I guess I told you guys that I did it live, right? So everyone knows that. And I'm supposed to get my second one on the 13th. So I'm looking forward to that. And guess what? I think I have a trip coming up too. So nothing's gonna prevent me, right? So I'm about to get my swerve on. Ooh, like I said, I'm being silly today, but I got my vaccination, and nothing would prevent me at this point. I don't think. But well, we'll see. But I do have a tentative trip planned for July, and if something happens to come up sooner, then maybe I will take a trip. So it's all business related, and if I can't do it from home, then guess what? I got to go see people, right? So that's what I do. Who's hiring? There's quite a few people hiring here today, and I limit it to companies or hotels that are they just posted these. They're not a week old, right? I don't go past a week, 6, 7 days, okay? Because I think at that point is this you don't have a chance at that point, right? So these are within 7 days. So anyway, who's hiring? Portofino. You know the Portofino, and these are. I'm sorry, but these are only in LA or greater Southern California area because I know I got people from a lot around the world that watch the show, but I'm only going to limit to the people in or the positions in Los Angeles. I'm going to limit to and GMs and directors of sales or within that genre. Okay, if that's okay. So I have to throw that disclaimer out because, like, why didn't you mention this? Why? No, because I didn't. So Portofino Hotel and Marina, Redondo Beach. They're looking for a GM, 168 room boutique style hotel. It's managed and owned, I believe, by Noble House Hotel, just in case you wanted to know that. What are the requirements? Community involvement, highly visible GM, hands on manager, leadership, positive energy and enthusiasm for the team. Okay, all right, that's good. Okay, they just described me, but anyway, I'm not interested in that job. So, what about the next one? Is Hotel Irwin. Now, this is an F&B job. Okay, I forgot to say that. Hotel Irwin is in Venice. It's for the High Rooftop Lounge, which is voted one of the top 5 hotel bars in the U.S. That's pretty okay. So that's a high profile position because you don't want to get out of that top 5. You don't want to take this position as a GM and get out of that top 5 position. That wouldn't be good. Okay, so they're looking for a GM of the high roof top lounge restaurant and bar. Okay, so you report to the hotel GM, but you are the GM of this particular lounge. And I've actually been to this lounge, rooftop. Overlooks the ocean, of course, because if anyone knows where Venice is, it sits on the beach. Okay, Venice Beach, Muscle Beach, it's right there. Muscle Beach where, people go and work out and they play basketball out there. You go out there and you'll see people like professional basketball players out there playing basketball. They shouldn't be out there playing, but every now and then you'll see them, or you'll see like uh, I've seen former NFL players out there playing basketball. Um, out there just running around playing just randomly. So it's one of those hotels that's in a high kind of profile area. So you got to be on your P's and Q's if you want to take that job because it's a high profile and people are going to be looking at you. And like I said, you do not want to be voted out of the top five of hotel bars. So, okay, so we got two of them. Portofino Hotel and Marina, they're looking for a GM, 168 room hotel. Then you have the Irwin Hotel Irwin in Venice, high rooftop lounge. That's the name of the place. And they're looking for a GM just of that. And then yet there's a campus GM position, the Hilton Garden Inn, Homewood Suites, and Residence Inn. That's managed by Aimbridge, and that's located right off the 405 freeway. If anybody knows what a 405 freeway is, you've seen these hotels. It's three hotels together. It's a campus GM, Hilton Garden Inn, Homewood Suites, and Residence Inn. And they're all Aimbridge managed. They're looking for at least 6 years of progressive experience. So, okay, well, that's good. Got to be progressive. You can't just be sitting around doing nothing like, I've been at this hotel forever. No, well, that's not the job for you then. Holiday Inn Anaheim, they're looking for a GM. I know where that hotel is. That's a 15-minute walk to Disneyland. Okay, so when Disneyland opens, you'll be 15 minutes away. So there you go. And that's Aimbridge managed too. What the heck? Aimbridge is doing everything, right? They're trying to take over everything. They took over. They bought interstate hotels. So they're taking it. They had what's the other ones? I can't think of the other ones. Used to be the old Tarsadia hotels that they took over. Starts with a I can't think. I'm not even gonna. Someone's gonna chime in and say something. But yeah. So Campus D. Okay, I'm sorry. Holiday Inn Anaheim looking for a GM as well. They're looking for at least 6 years of progressive experience. Then there's a Campus DOS Director of Sales position at the Hilton Garden Inn, Los Angeles slash Montebello, which is kind of East LA is East Los, kind of that area. And then there's a DOS position at the One Hanalei Bay, opening spring 2022. But the position's here in Los Angeles. So it's a corporate office. I think it's in Beverly Hills or West Hollywood. I can't remember what it was, but it's on the island of Kauai. Okay, so if you're interested in that, but you don't have to, I don't think you have to be on Kauai. You just have to, I bet you probably have to go there for, site inspections or whatever, but you're based here in LA. 250 room hotel, not open yet. They're looking for a minimum 5 years of luxury leisure sales experience. And all these jobs are on Indeed.com. So just so you know. Okay, no hotels no hotel career H careers. I don't know what's going on with them, but they kind of split. They kind of share the same stuff, but it seems like Indeed has more these days. I don't know what's going on with H careers, but can someone tell me? H careers, are you there? Hello. But anyway, what is your LinkedIn SSI? I need some water. I hope you guys didn't hear me swallow. But what is your LinkedIn SSI score? Now, that's social. SSI stands for Social Selling Index. It measures the impact of your social selling efforts with LinkedIn and how effective you are at establishing your professional brand. Okay, so it's just a tool, a metric, if you will, to help you understand or help you, see, you gauge yourself. Like, where are you? Where should you be? Okay, I'm at 70 out of 100. I should be like at 80, but every time I take a step forward, I take 2 steps back. I don't understand. I'm posting like crazy. I'm making comments. I'm doing all kind of stuff. Standing on my head, taking pictures. I'm doing all this stuff, but for whatever reason, it's not happening. So, and if it's the funny thing, I wasn't even trying before. When I first did this, I had a 71. Then it went down to 69, and I've been doing things. So obviously on LinkedIn, the algorithms are so sophisticated. If you do one wrong thing, it's gonna ding you for it. Okay, so if I'm, posting, probably I'm getting dinged because I have I'm on StreamYard and I'm streaming live to 3 different platforms. I guarantee you, LinkedIn doesn't like that right now. If I was just going straight to LinkedIn, then it would be probably okay, and I probably would gain something because of that. But because I'm doing Facebook, because I'm doing YouTube as well. And that may be the reason. I don't know, but that's just me, and I just know how the algorithms can be on some of these platforms. But anyway, I must keep doing what I do, right? So, but anyway, so it's a social selling index, measures, like I said, what your, how effective your personal brand is. And there's four categories: establishing your professional brand, and you don't have to be in sales to do this, because people always say, "Well, that's for a salesperson." An HR person told me this one day. Victor Simmons, Ace Hotels. Not that I'm name dropping or anything like that. He's VP of HR and D&I. But anyway, he said, "Well, that's not for me," because I said, "Well, Victor, aren't you still trying to grow your brand as what you do in the D&I and HR space?" You're like, "Yeah, you're right." So okay, so you need to listen to that as well, or just take the test and send me the scores. Send me the numbers, and that way I can talk about it. So, but everyone that comes on the show, everybody I talk to, people ask me about it all the time, like, how do I get the score? Just go Google SSI LinkedIn, and it'll come up, and then just click on, I want my score or whatever, and it doesn't cost you anything, and it's just something. It's a starting point. Doesn't I mean, is it the end all be all? I always say that, but no, it's just something. It's just a measuring tool, just to see where you are as far as how you engage with people, because there's four things that it's measured on: establishing your professional brand, finding the right people, engage with insights, meaning, there's people that make comments on your page, on your whatever, your on your postings. You need to engage with those people, right? So, or even on other people's posting, are you engaging, and are you even connecting with the right people, right? Like, are you building relationships? Like, building relationships, I'm off the chart. But where my deficiencies are finding the right people. I got 26,000 people on LinkedIn that I'm connected with. Am I not finding the right people? I mean, it shouldn't even matter, because I think they look at what a specific industry you're in, and they say, "Well, you need to stick to the industry." Well, no, that's not what you should do. LinkedIn should be about networking, because if I'm a meeting planner, who am I trying to plan a meeting for? Is it for people in the hospitality space? No, it's for other companies outside of hospitality. So LinkedIn, come on now, be real, and help me out. Okay, give me a better score. I'm trying to get to 80, and I'm at 70. That's not good. Okay, so as you can tell, I'm really passionate about this. But don't take yourself serious, because I don't. Okay, so just, I'm making light of this stuff, but um if what did Libby say? Okay, if everyone who tunes in invited a colleague to tune in, your viewership would increase and stabilize organically. Okay, so Libby, start inviting people to come to check out the show, please. Thank you so much. See, that's a good comment, Libby. Thank you so much. So invite your people. So share. This is what everyone needs to do. If you're on LinkedIn or whatever platforms you're on, share your screen, meaning share Facebook Live, share LinkedIn with the people that listen to you, or follow you or connected with you. Just share. That's what you should do. And then that will grow things, and maybe my score will go up. So there you go. Okay. So thank you, Libby. See, that just sparked something in me right there. But okay, let's get back to the show. Is your hotel open? Did you go back to work? Have you created some FOMO? FOMO stands for fear of missing out. Put a hashtag in front of it. Create some FOMO. Okay, so it's just a form of marketing, a form of promoting either your brand, personal brand, or the brand that you work for. Like, everyone's the brand. So just remember that you are the brand, but you may work and represent another brand too. Okay. But it starts with you, because people, as salespeople, that they buy the hotel, because you worked at the Hilton or whatever. No, they buy you because the relationship that you built is with you. The relationship is not with the hotel. It's with you, who happens to work at that hotel. So it didn't matter what hotel I was in. They knew me. They bought me. If they're going to do a meeting, they said, "Hey, I'm going to do a meeting with Russell." Okay. They didn't say Russell at the Courtyard, or Russell at the Sheraton. They at Russell, because some of these same people follow me from hotel to hotel. So it couldn't not have been the brand. It wasn't a brand. It had to be you. It had to be your brand. So remember to put your brand out, and then the other stuff will fall in line. Okay. But remember, first and foremost, You are the brand. So, boy, that was a good one, right? Hey, I got people on their feet to say for that one. Okay, so remember to create some FOMO. Use social media consistently to get your message out. Whatever your product or service is, stay relevant, and it should be a huge part of your marketing strategy. So no matter who you work for, what your brand stands for, whatever, you need to be consistent and stay relevant. Non-meat eats. I haven't. You know what? I ate somewhere last week, but I don't remember the name of the place. But it was basically a fusion. It was a now just for people. Let me throw this out there for people that did not know this. I'm 100% plant-based. I don't eat meat, cheese, eggs, whatever. I don't do dairy, none of that stuff, right? So 100% plant-based. So I watch what I eat, right? So every week I eat out somewhere. I mean, go get takeout or whatever. So I went to this place, but I can't. It's called Bombay something. I can't think of the whole name. But bottom line, it's like a fusion between Indian food and Mexican food. So it's like Indian, like tikka masala or something like that, but it's all vegan, right? But they serve it in a tortilla in like a burrito. So it has all the Indian spices. You can throw, and it throws some Mexican spices in there as well. That stuff was bomb. Okay. And that was the first time going there. So guess what? That's just made it to my top 5 list of places to go because I have to think of the name, but it's something Bombay, and they just opened one in the what is it called? It used to be called the Fox Hills Mall. Now it's called, I don't know, something else. But I don't go to malls anyway. But I don't even have to go to in the mall to go to the place because it's open right outside. But have I tried Magpie? No, I haven't. But guess what? Natalie told me about it. So next time I'm there, I'm gonna have to, call you guys and we have to go there. Magpie is a vegan ice cream place, right? And I believe where's it at? Let me know. Tell me where it is because it's important that I mention it now since you're sending me notes, Eric. I appreciate that though. But yeah, she told me about Magpie and I'm interested because I go to Donut Friends, which is a vegan donut place, right? So I try to do what I can to support all my vegan restaurants, right? So there you go. And I haven't been to a vegan ice cream place yet, although I do eat vegan ice cream, but I get it from Trader Joe's. But even Ralph's carries, certain varieties of or certain brands of vegan ice cream. So, what are you doing for the guest experience? Are you adding this is for hotels, of course. What are you doing for the guest experience? Are you adding local or internal foodie packages? I mean, what are you doing that's new? That's because when people start traveling, they're gonna want to do something new and exciting. So what are you doing? What about a foodie package? For not for your hotel, 'cause but maybe foodie packages for local restaurants that are down the street from your hotel or next door or whatever. So it just gives people a variety of things to do, and it supports, the local economy, not just for your hotel, but maybe the local economy of restaurants or shops that may be open near your hotel. So I mean, that's just a suggestion because some people come up with, well, we're going to do a spa package and we're going to promote this and we're going to do that. What about the stuff that's already there? Okay. And it could be a spa next to your hotel. I don't know. But I'm just saying we need to jumpstart what's going on in the travel space and food, entertainment. They all are synonymous with each other. So that's why I threw that out there. But do something. So, but how are you packaging or how are you promoting leisure travel? Because, like I said, leisure travel is what starts first, right? Leisure travel then leads to hopefully corporate travel, then meetings and all that kind of stuff. So, but it starts with the leisure travel market. The best way to predict the future is to invent it. How do you get a hold of Russell of Hotels? Russell at russellofhotels.com is my email. Twitter, Russell of Hotels. The gram, I'm at Russell of Hotels. LinkedIn, I have 2 of those, Russell L. Edmond and Russell of Hotels. That's the company page. I have 2 Facebook pages, Russell L. Edmond and Westfield Shopping Center. Thank you. So yeah, so it's Westfield Shopping Center, formerly Fox Hills Mall. Can you look up the restaurant in there as well, since you're giving me information, Mr. Charles Skiffer? It's called Bombay something. It's like I said, it's an Indian place, but they serve it in burrito style. Oh man, that was. Oh, you know what? After the show, I think I'm gonna get one. I mean, that's where I am right now. Clubhouse. I'm on Clubhouse. Russell of Hotels. YouTube. I have a YouTube channel as well. Yes, please subscribe. Can you go to my YouTube channel and subscribe? I'm up to like 27 subscribers, which is nothing. Okay. But could you go there and just check it out and just click subscribe? That's all you got to do and just get out of it. Okay. So I'm trying to grow that. Can I grow that to like 100 by end of the year? I hope so. Marketing disruptor. I'm a sponsorship. You can do sponsorships through me. If you want to talk about your hotel, you see the little tickers going on at the bottom. Just imagine it says the Hyatt Regency LAX or something like that. Just using that as an example. Libby Zarahi, DOS. Are you still there, Libby? I'm sorry. I'm just throwing information out there, and I hope that's even the case. But okay, so the Magpie is in Highland Park in Silver Lake. Okay, so yeah. And it's kind of a hipster area. It's kind of like one of those cool, well, it's gentrification, right? But it's one of those hipster areas where now they just sprouted up with coffee bars and vegan restaurants and all this kind of stuff over there, which is good. I mean, hey, which is good, right? But good for, people that want to eat over there and do whatever. But anyway, it is what it is. So, okay. Libby's doing freelance work. Okay, congratulations on that. Thank you so much for letting me know. Hotel opening. I mean, okay, I'm talking about sponsorships and promoting. You can promote your hotel opening. You can promote your new business. Okay, Libby's doing freelance. Give me the name of the company. Libby, is it just under Libby Zarahi? I'll throw it out there right now. So, and Libby is a huge marketer, hotel marketer, revenue. She knows everything ins and out about hotel marketing. In fact, we worked at the same hotel together. She got a better hotel than I did, but yeah, so we worked together for the same companies. But yeah, so I mean, Libby is well respected in the industry, and I respect the heck out of her as well. So thank you so much, Libby, for even joining me on the show. I do appreciate that, and maybe we can get you on the show soon, Libby. So let's do that. Let's work on that. Um, so let's see. Okay, where am I? Where am I? Who listens to? This is the thing. So the reach is pretty good, right? So it reaches the markets, let's say feeder cities, Chicago, LA, of course, because I'm here in LA, Orange County, New York, Atlanta, Dallas, parts of Florida, depending on what's going on, but parts of Florida like Orlando for the most part. But it's not just here in the US. I have a reach in the Caribbean. So you're talking about not Belize, Barbados, Bahamas, Jamaica, the Philippines, specifically Manila, New Zealand, Australia, the UK, Canada, two different parts of Canada, from Toronto to Vancouver. Okay, so and then most recently, just last week, we started reaching people in South Africa. So the reach is wide for Russell of Hotels, or On Air with Russell of Hotels, because if you hadn't noticed, I put so much stuff out as far as marketing pieces. If I put out something about the airport yesterday, it had to do with the people mover that's under construction, $4.9 billion people mover that LAX is constructing as we speak. Now, I hadn't seen the tracks because I hadn't, no one has been to LAX in a while. At least I haven't, at least a year. So I happened to be there in the area yesterday, and I'm like, when the heck did this happen? So I took pictures and I posted it, and immediately I got so many comments and so many comments from this posting. Right, there's a video that I did, a quick little video that I did about what's going on at LAX, and people just started just going crazy. I mean, it was up like 500 views or something crazy like that in half a day. So information is out there, and that's the world we live in. So information is key. So my job is to put stuff out there where I can. Someone mentioned hashtag hospitality strong, and yes, definitely, hospitality people are strong people, and my job is to give back. So if I'm resonating, if what I'm saying is resonating with people, and you're sharing that information, that's great. And then I've done my job, right? So peace. There you go. And then, of course, I do other things as well. The construction at LAX is imposing. Yes, you can witness progress. Yeah, progress is definitely evident at LAX. So if you happen to be driving around LA and you want to go see what's going on at LAX and have fun, but be wary of maybe some of the traffic that may be popping up as well. So I only go there when I need to, and I just happen, I wanted to see what was new. And there's a new hotel going on. I'm gonna post that later today, but there's a new Hyatt place that's going up on Century Boulevard. It's an old office building that they converted to a hotel. So that's going to be, I think that's supposed to open next year, 2022, I think is what I saw. No, maybe it was this year. No, it's 2021. So I'll post that later today. Um, so yeah, so what do I do? Branding, digital marketing via social media, help build your presence. And people call that influencing, or I call it content creating. It's just helping out hotels, keeping you relevant, posting things, and just getting that relationship with me and that person and that hotel. That's what it's all about. And those influencers or whatever they want to call content creators, hoteliers, they depend on them to get that information to, the people that listen to me or watch me or whatever, because those are the people that they think are their, I guess, their target audience, I guess. So yeah, so I'm here to do that as well. So any questions at all with regarding that, just give me a call. And all the information is on my website, which is Russell of Hotels. I'm sorry, russellofhotels.com is the website. So check it out. So I'm a radio show host as well. So I interview hospitality professionals. That's what I do. We talk about their story, how they got to where they are, where they started. I'm a disruptor of the status quo. That's what I do. I mean, that's just what I am. But I do all that and then still collaborating and connecting with people and try to point people in the right direction if I can. How is your professional brand or personal brand staying relevant? These are questions I ask every week. Number two, knowing what you know now, is there anything that you are doing differently or that you would do differently? Number three, have you connected with anyone new lately? Yeah, I mean, you need to. If you haven't, you need to do that. What has this situation taught you? Don't put all your eggs in one basket. That's what it taught me. And are you swerving? Are you, coming up against the obstacle, and are you swerving around it to make things better for you? Swerving is the new P word. Okay, everyone is throwing out this whole, oh, we're gonna pivot. No, 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 no. We don't pivot on air with Russell of Hotels. We swerve. Okay, so that's what we do. So that's what that is. A quick shout out and thank you to Miss Teresa Ofstad, current president of PCMA, Southern California chapter. What is PCMA? Professional Convention Management Association. She was a guest last week on the show, so I'm going to thank her so much for coming on and sharing her information about how she got started and what she's doing now. And she's she's a current VP of membership, speaking your business with Toastmasters, and as well as a former director of destination sales for LA Tourism and Convention Board. So I just want to throw that out and quick shout out to her. And then and just thank her for sharing her story. And a quick shout out to, and this is even before they started sending me information, Eric and Natalie Gibson. I knew they were going to be listening today. Natalie told me so. And they're huge supporters of the show. So thank you so much for Eric and Natalie for having conversations. We talk about anything hotel, issues that we have, whatever. And she used to be my director of sales back in the day at Sportsman's Lodge, and we kept in touch ever since then. In fact, we knew each other before that, and then just so happened, I remember we went to what was it? It had to do with revenue management, and I met her at some restaurant. I can't remember the restaurant, but anyway, we've been inseparable ever since. Okay, so she's a great friend. So thank you so much. And Eric is her husband, and he's a great friend too. There you go. So thank you so much, Eric, and then Natalie for listening and supporting of the show. I do appreciate it. And Natalie works for an Hyatt Place next to SE. I think it's called Hyatt Place USC Medical Center, something like that. It's kind of like East LA too, East Los kind of thing as well. So it's a new development over there. They just opened maybe 2 months ago. So if you're in that area, you need a hotel to stay in, and you need to ask for the Russell of Hotels rate. Okay, so whatever the Russell of Hotels rate is, well, whatever their highest rate or lowest rate is, just take that and they'll take $1 off of it. Okay, so that's what the Russell Hotels rate is. So you're guaranteed the lowest rate available. Okay, so there you go. Hyatt House, USC Medical Center. I said that right, right. So that's where Natalie is. Okay, and she's a director of sales there, and she opened it. She has opening experience, so there you go. Because that's every director of sales and marketing or every hotel person doesn't have opening experience, right? Because there's a whole bunch of crap that comes with opening a hotel that wasn't there before. That's one thing to take over one. Everything. There's some things that are already in place, but if you walk into one, I mean, it's a new build, dirt and all that stuff. There's a whole new thing that comes along with that. I've opened like 2 hotels and rebranded one. It's interesting, right? So congratulations to you, Natalie, for doing that. Quick shout out to Marriott International for their $20 million endowment to Howard University in DC. What is Howard University? You guys know what Howard University is? Howard University is an HBCU. What does that stand for? HBCU stands for Historical Black College or University. Okay, so that's huge for any company to give an endowment of $20 million, and it was in the name of Arnie Sorensen, who passed away, who was Marriott's CEO and president. He passed away about almost 3 weeks ago now. So what a great honor, great gesture that Marriott did that. So I'm always been a Marriott fan because I started my career with Marriott, right? And I was always an Arnie, I'm a Mr. Marriott, Bill Marriott, and an Arnie Sorensen fan because he took over from where Bill Marriott left off and made things better. At least that's what I think right now. You talk to some meeting planners, and I'm a meeting planner too. And there's certain things they didn't like about some of the things that went down, but hey, it's their business. They can do whatever they want to do. It's our job to kind of swerve and make things happen for us, right? Not that I'm supported what they did, but I am supporting, and I'm glad that $20 million is going to a historical Black college and university here in the United States. So thank you so much, Marriott and Mr. Arnie Sorensen, because obviously he had that in place before he passed away. So there you go. Stay positive, test negative. That's what Joe Tatizian says. Okay, that was his quote. And I'm about to end the show, but I have to ask this one question. And there's a situation that happened over the weekend to a friend of mine, right? Dear friend, dear family friend, almost a son, that kind of thing. Um, what would you do if you checked into a hotel on Saturday and then Sunday afternoon you left the hotel and went to lunch, and upon your return, you realized that the hotel had closed? What would you do? When I mean closed, I mean chain, locked down, nobody in, no one out, no one answering the door. What would you do? Because that's a situation that happened to, like I said, this dear friend of mine in Charlotte, North Carolina, over the weekend. Okay, the hotel closed down and told no one who was staying there that this was happening. Can you believe that it would even happen? Okay, you find a bar. Yeah. I'm sure that wasn't the first thing he thought about, but maybe after he said, I need to have a bar, I need to have a drink. But what would you do? I mean, first of all, what hotel would even do that without I'm so ticked off about this, without making the guest aware. Obviously, the hotel was not full. Okay, the hotel was not full. Okay, so I had to drink a little water. So hotel's not a big hotel. It was an AC hotel, so I'll just throw that out there. Um, but the hotel was not full. So why couldn't they contact the guests? I mean, we have all this information. We got cell phones, we got all this information. Why did that not happen? So he called me or texted me because he was on the phone with the corporate office, or at least reservations. And I said, well, normally there's another similar brand next to this hotel, because in that particular, and I know the city, so I knew that there are several different brands, Marriott brands, in this particular area. I said, what you do is go next door I said, is there another brand hotel around? He said, yeah, there's one next door. I said, go there, tell them what happened. I said, I guarantee they know something about what's going on. So he ended up going there because his stuff was still in the room, right? So he ends up going over there, and he ends up getting his stuff. I assume he's still there now because I have not. We've been talking, but but he has yet to. We haven't have yet to have a conversation about this. Because he was, I mean, he was like, "Well, do you know who the GM is? Do you know?" And I said, "Well, I got as much information as I could, and guess what? I did find out who the GM was in a matter of like 5 minutes. I found out who the GM was. But the show's not about that. But the show is about hoteliers who are listening, who are watching the show. Um, how does that make your guests feel? Okay, like I said, what I mentioned about hospitality. Service is one thing, hospitality is something else. Hospitality is how did you make your guests feel? Now, do you think this person is going to want to go back to another similar brand hotel knowing what he that happened to him? And it just didn't happen to him. He wasn't the only one staying in the hotel, right? Now we know COVID stuff is going on and hotels are closing left and right, blah, 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 blah. It's not about that. You still have to close, right? But you still have to inform your guests that this is happening. So it is very disappointing that I heard that, and it's very disappointing that it was the brand that I just lifted up, not 2 minutes ago, right? But stuff happens, but we have to learn from this. And like I said, I don't know exactly what transpired after this. After I gave my 2 cents, he got his stuff. So, and I'm sure he stayed at the other hotel that was next door. So and then, like I said, I had to do my own investigation because I was like, I mean, is this really, are you serious? I couldn't because I couldn't believe it. So I called reservations when you get transferred to reservation. First of all, I called the direct number, no answer, rang like 100 times. I let it ring 100 times. So, okay, no one's answering the phone. So I asked for reservations and I asked to make a reservation for the next day at that same hotel. And miraculously, there's um, no they have no rooms available. So it doesn't say on their site that it's been closed, but it just says there's no availability if you try to make a reservation. So I don't know anything about that. But anyway, that's it. Okay, Libby made a comment. This is very disappointing. Logically, I would call the brand headquarters, yes, and ask them for assistance in retrieving my belongings, yes, and assisting me for with a full refund. Someone was obviously not thinking. No, they weren't. Not representing of a good ownership group. Yikes. Yeah, that's what I said too. And guess what? An engineer from the next door hotel ended up going over there and unlocking the door. So they knew something. So the hotels were related. And that's what I told him. I said, sometimes that particular brand, they may have, because they had several hotels in that same area. And the thing that ticks me off is that these were, if I'm not mistaken, and I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they're all managed hotels by that particular company, which really incensed me. But anyway, that's happens, and I think he's okay because we have been talking not about that, but some other stuff because I was doing a project for this guy. But anyway, but that's the show for today. That's On Air with Russell of Hotels. I thank you so much for joining us, joining me, and I look forward to next week, which is show number 98. It's countdown to 100. And like I said, what the heck am I going to do? I don't know, but I'm offering suggestions. And thank you again, Janie Parrish, my cousin. Interesting situation. Glad you could be of help to him. Well, I mean, that's what I do, Janie. Okay. I try to help where I can help, right? So, like I said, he texts me, and I thought it was a joke at first. I mean, how often you get a text saying that I went to lunch, came back, and the hotel was boarded up or closed up, chained up, or whatever. I'm like, that I thought he was joking. And I said, well, I don't know what I would do until he went on. I was like, you're serious, right? And he said, yeah, I'm on the phone with, corporate whatever. It was on a Sunday, so there's no corporate office open. But he was on the phone with reservations because he was trying to figure out what the heck was going on. And as he was asking me for the GM, you know the GM's name and all that. I mean, I found his name. I sure did. That was quick. But anyway, that was a situation that should not occur. And like I said, it goes back to hospitality. What is hospitality mean to you? To me, it means how it makes you feel. So if I feel some kind of way, meaning like he did, I wouldn't. That'd be the last brand I'll go to, right? Unless they start, there has to be something. There has to be something that comes up because of this. But anyway, I'm gonna find out more information and maybe I'll share it with you next week. Thank you so much, Eric. I appreciate the comment. And I think, because I knew people were listening today, certain people, I wanted to put on I want to put on a good show today. Not that I don't put on good show any other day, but anyway, but thank you guys so much. Go to YouTube and subscribe to my channel, please. So thank you so much for joining On Air with Russell of Hotels. And we're gonna get out of here. And I have to change some things. So thank you so much. You guys take care and peace.